Hey there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining me in tonight's live stream. It's officially Sunday and my back is pretty much broken in half at this point, but again, who cares? It's all good. So yeah, but yeah, it's, man, like I've twisted the muscle in my back or something like that. I thought it would get better by now, but it's just not. But anyway, guys, like I say, it's Sunday and it's a great time to be a Harry Potter fan. There's a lot of stuff going on in the Wizarding world that we need to talk about in tonight's live stream. So, we've got different topics to talk about. Daniel Radcliffe has recently been on the interview circuit and he's talked about his life after Harry Potter and what he's been up to in recent years and how he looks back kind of fondly about it and how, you know, he doesn't mind fans still talking about Harry Potter. Also, we're going to be talking about Lucius Malfoy appearing in season 1 of the Harry Potter HBO series, even though he doesn't appear in the Philosopher's Stone book. So that's going to be contentious among many Harry Potter purists, that's for sure. But also, we're going to be talking about our main story, which we're going to be talking about the Jacobite Express, which is the real-world Hogwarts Express. And it looks like they're in a bit of a financial crisis, and it looks like the train may be decommissioned, and fans may no longer be able to ride the actual real Hogwarts Express that goes over the Glenfinnan Viaduct up in Scotland. So we've got some different stories to talk about that are, you know, pretty cool, and I think you guys will definitely enjoy. So we have Emma there, we have Kimmy, great to see you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have had a fantastic weekend, whatever you guys have been up to. We're just going to wait a few minutes like we usually do, just kind of chat amongst ourselves and, you know, just chill out for a couple of minutes and wait for some other people to turn up. Then we'll jump into our first topic. But like I say, yeah, I had one of my family members check out my back earlier, man, and it's just like I look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, you know, where he's got that huge hump. I've got like a big, it looks like someone's hit me in the back with a hammer. It's really weird. I'm not really sure. I have no idea where it's come from. It's so bizarre. But anyway, that's enough of my medical issues. But I just thought I'd give you guys an update for those of you who care. But yeah, I mean, it's all been going good, guys. I've been, you know, uploading the get it checked out. Absolutely will. I'm phoning up the doctors first thing tomorrow. We got Flamingo here as well. Great to see you, Flamingo. Yeah, so, I mean, I've been uploading all of the Harry Potter vlogs from the Harry Potter Studio Tour. Part 2 was uploaded yesterday. Do check out that video, guys, if you haven't seen it, obviously after this stream. The Great Hall was in there with some fireworks, the Magical Mischief event. We checked out Snape's classroom, the Gryffindor common room, the Slytherin common room, the boys' dormitory, the Gryffindor boys' dormitory. So there's a lot to get to in that second part video. It was really a lot of fun making it and editing it and putting it together. And it was such a magical place just to be there and see other people dressed up in the costumes. And just really, really fun. And I'm like I already said yesterday on the stream, I'm already saving up for the Christmas event. I've already got a little bit of money tucked away. And come Christmas, I should have a nice wad of change. So come Christmas time, when I go back to the Harry Potter Studio Tour, I'll be able to buy myself a whole load of goodies. And it's going to be even more epic than it was before. And I can't wait to see all the Christmas decorations. Kimmy says, great video. Thank you so much, Kimmy. I really do appreciate that. It's a bit difficult to film there, I have to be honest, because not only am I self-conscious about talking to a camera in front of loads of other people, like members of the public, but it's very difficult to make a video because you've got noises going on all over the place. You've got people walking behind you. You've got people talking in front and behind you. You've got the effects going on. So it's like trying to film when you've got all this kind of like extra activity going on around you, making sure you're filming the right thing, making sure the audio is not going too crazy and you're kind of talking to yourself and, you know, just... So there's a lot going on and, you know, it's you get self-conscious as well. Can you get a mic so the sound is just on you? Yeah, I do. So the microphone that I'm using at the moment, I'll show you quickly. I could get a better one. The one that I'm using at the moment is this one here. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is the DJI mini mic. So this is the one, like you just attach it. You just attach it to your kind of your jumper like that, and then you sync it up to the camera, and then you can talk through the microphone to the camera. So, yeah, I mean, you could get like a handheld one that kind of like mutes out the background noise. I could do that in the future once I get some more money together, buy myself an even better microphone. But I think, this one's okay for now. This one will suffice for the meantime. Um, I've also got this one that I'm using here, but I can't really, you can't connect this one to the camera, so I can connect it on my PC through the camera, but I can't connect it without my PC, so it doesn't work too much. The audio was fine. Yeah, I think the audio was okay. I mean, it's great. We could improve it, but obviously, buying upgraded equipment, it's not cheap. Like, when it comes to like cameras and microphones, they can cost you like hundreds or thousands of pounds, depending on, your budget and how expensive and how technical you want them to be, and, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, for the meantime, for me, for a low budget YouTuber, I think the setup's okay for the moment. And yeah, I was okay with the audio. I think the audio is okay. But like I was just saying, just because there's a lot of noise going on everywhere, I was trying to film, but I was trying to avoid people's conversations around me at the same time. So, okay. Flamingo says, thanks for following me on Instagram. You're absolutely welcome. If any of you guys do want to follow me on any social medias, I will make sure I follow you back, guys. So, follow for follow, as they say. So check out my social media. If you're following me and I haven't followed you back, do let me know and I can make sure I rectify that for you. Cloud Up says, yeah, it's amazing how expensive stuff can get. Absolutely. When you're looking at the microphones and, professional podcasting microphones, and you have to get like an amp. Like, you have to feed it for an amp, and then you have to change all the audio for an amp, and then you connect the amp to a PC. Like, it's mind-blowing how complicated it can get pretty quickly. Lucky Flamingo, I didn't get a follow back. Oh, Kimmy, I'll make sure I do that. Sometimes I just forget. I'm human. Sometimes I don't, I forget. So, just remind me, and I can make sure I follow you back. Are you talking about on Instagram, Kimmy? Because if that's the case, I can follow you back, no problem. I'll do that after the stream for you. Okay, guys, so this seems like a good time to jump into our first topic. We're going to be talking about Daniel Radcliffe. He was doing a recent interview, and he talked a bit about his life kind of, during and after Harry Potter and kind of filming and all that good stuff. So let's dive in and let's see what Daniel Radcliffe, if I can talk, Daniel Radcliffe had to say for himself here. Discussed his Harry Potter legacy and finding peace with fame. So it's great after all this time, that Daniel Radcliffe is opening up a little bit during an interview, kind of giving us his thoughts, his feelings, his opinions on, his journey throughout Harry Potter and kind of acting within the film industry and all that kind of good stuff. So let's jump into this kind of small update here and let's see what's going on with Daniel Radcliffe. It's always great to hear an update from the guy. I think he's charming as hell. I love seeing the guy in interviews. And like I always say to people, watch his indie films in recent years. The guy has come on as a really strong actor. I think the guy's terrific. I would love to see him in more stuff. But I just think he's a really cool guy. Like, he's really charming. And, he's quite a delightful person to see during interviews, like I say. Okay, so winning a Critics' Choice Award for his Weird Al Yankovic portrayal was evidence enough that Daniel Radcliffe has soared beyond his Harry Potter days. But fans of the English actor, now 36 years old, might always know him as the boy who lived, even when Radcliffe continues to broaden his comedic chops with new comedy series The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins alongside Tracy Morgan. Okay, I have to say, I've never heard of that. The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins. Do any of you guys know that? I can't say I've ever heard of that, but I'm interested to check it out now, now that I know Daniel Radcliffe's going to be in it. But yeah, no idea what that is. So, in a new interview with Rolling Stone, Radcliffe seemed happy to weigh in on his Potter legacy, and if he's at peace with his fanbase, always knowing him from a certain fantastical universe. So, Daniel Radcliffe had to say the following here. Oh my god, yes, I've always been fairly fine with it, he told the magazine in an article published Thursday, February 12th. I don't need people to forget that I did that in order to enjoy the stuff that I'm doing now. In fact, it often leads people to seek me out in other things. Coming out of Potter, I was probably more stressed out about it. The first time I did a musical, I went into the rehearsal rooms like, fuck, everyone thinks, what's this movie kid doing here, and is he any good? It's nice not to walk in feeling those things anymore. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? People do forget that sometimes when you have like a Broadway or a West End actor and they're coming across into the film industry, or vice versa, in the case of Daniel Radcliffe, he was a movie actor going into a kind of a musical on like Broadway or the West End, and there's two very different sets of talent. It really is. To be on a live stage and do a musical play where you have to do the choreography, you're in front of a live audience, you don't get a second take. When you're filming a movie, if you mess up a line or you're not in the right position or something goes wrong, you can reset the scene and you can film it again, no big problem. But if you're doing dance choreography and you're, on a big set piece on stage, you have to be in time with the other dancers. You have to know the choreography inside out. If you make a mistake, you're in front of a live audience. You can't just reset the scene like you can when you're filming a movie. So it's a very different talent set. It really is. But yeah, going back to it, the fact that people know him from Harry Potter, like he was saying, it's a great thing that he says there, because you know him so well from Harry Potter that it does make you want to seek out other things that he's been doing, in recent times. But like I say, guys, just go onto Google, type in not Harry Potter, I'm calling him Harry Potter now. Type in on Google Daniel Radcliffe indie films or independent films, and it will come up with a bunch of independent films he's been in. And man, his acting talent is really grown. He's a really strong actor, and he's been in some great, incredible films. So do check out some of his independent films, and I think you guys will really like what you find. So, and as fans are well aware, Harry Potter continues to live on in a variety of ways. In addition to the highly anticipated HBO series, J.K. Rowling's creation was recently spoofed in a heated rivalry crossover sketch on Saturday Night Live. I think there's been quite a few different Harry Potter sketches over the years on Saturday Night Live, but the most recent one was that kind of, they did like a gay kind of spin on it, and it had Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things, and he was like a gay wizard. Jason Momoa is in there as well as Hagrid. And it was quite funny. It was quite funny, I have to give it to him. So, Radcliffe revealed to the Rolling Stone that he has, in fact, seen heated wizardry. So, weirdly, I had met Finn Wolfhard a few weeks before, randomly, and we chatted for a bit. The Lost City actor told the magazine. And then we texted, and then he texted me for a day before it aired, being like, hey, just so you know, we're doing a Harry Potter sketch. I haven't seen Heated Rivalry, although I'm very aware. My girlfriend is a huge fan. I'm sure there are jokes I was missing, but it was very funny and sweet. I've always been happy to see other versions of that. It makes me laugh. And that's kind of where we are. It's just a very small update, but again, he's coming out being classy and saying, yeah, he doesn't mind the fact that people still think of him as Harry Potter, and that's still what he's known for. He doesn't mind, because it's kind of like a big advertisement sign for Daniel Radcliffe as an actor. People watch him in Harry Potter, then once they finish watching Harry Potter, they think, you know what? I enjoyed his acting, I enjoyed him as a performer, let me go and search up his other films. So it kind of helps people to kind of get that bridgehead into other Daniel Radcliffe movies. Which we should be doing, because again, he's a terrific actor. But yeah, I think it's great. Let me just read this again before we finish off. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But he says, yes, I've been fine with it, talking about people knowing him for being Harry Potter. I don't need people to forget that I did that in order to enjoy the stuff I'm doing now. In fact, it often leads people to seek me out in other things. So yeah, like I said, it's just a good bridgehead from the Harry Potter franchise into his other acting roles that people can find him in, which is a good way of putting it. So, it's great to see him opening up and talking about the fame and kind of people connecting him to Harry Potter still after all these years. But after this new series comes out and these new actors, Dominic McLaughlin, once he comes in and fulfills the Harry Potter role, less people are going to be talking to Daniel Radcliffe about Harry Potter all the time. He still probably gets questions constantly, Daniel Radcliffe, in interviews about Harry Potter. But after this new series comes out, all that fame and attention that's on Daniel Radcliffe still will kind of be transplanted onto the new cast. So I think, the Harry Potter fandom side of Daniel Radcliffe's career is going to start to play down a little bit. It won't totally go away ever, but it's going to start to go down a little bit after that new series comes out. But there, guys, so what did you think about... So, there we go, guys. What did you think about that? I mean, there isn't any groundbreaking news there, like, don't get me wrong. But it's just nice to see an update every now and again from Daniel Radcliffe. I mean, the OG Harry Potter himself. And as the new cast and crew begins to sort of come in and take over from the Harry Potter franchise, it's still great to remember Daniel Radcliffe and the memories we have with him, and, to hear updates and, what he thinks about, with his acting career and stuff like that. I think the guy's just charming as hell. And, like, I haven't seen anything to make me dislike him, or he hasn't done anything to annoy me. And I just think the guy's great, and I love hearing from him from time to time. I've been looking for movies or TV series from my favorite Harry Potter actors to see what they're doing. Guys, if you want a really good movie, so something that I've watched recently with Daniel Radcliffe in the starring role, watch a film called Jungle. Watch a film called Jungle with Daniel Radcliffe. I actually think it's really great. He gets lost in the jungle and it's like a survival action adventure type movie with Daniel Radcliffe. It's a really good film. It's not by any means mind-blowing. It's not Oscar caliber. Don't get me wrong. It's an independent movie, but I think it's really great. If you love survival action adventure type things, definitely check out Jungle with Daniel Radcliffe. I think you guys will really enjoy that film. And there was a movie that came out recently with Tom Felton in it. Bear with me one second. Let me see if I can find it. Tom Felton movies. What was the movie that he starred in recently? Let me just find it quickly. It's on my list to watch. It's just a recommendation for you guys. Yeah, there it is. Altered. So there's a movie called Altered with Tom Felton. In an alternate present, genetically enhanced humans dominate society. Outcasts Leon and Chloe fight for justice against corrupt politicians, exploiting genetic disparity. So, yeah, alternate present, genetically enhanced humans dominate society, and it's got Tom Felton in it. And it looks like a pretty interesting movie concept. And love seeing Tom Felton pop up as well, so I may have to watch that. It's on my to-do list to get through. I've got so many movies to watch at the moment, though. Kimmy, I want to watch it too, but it's not available in my country. Emma, it's so worth it when you can watch it. Whereabouts are you? Just finished Lord of the Flies with Locks. Oh my god, it was amazing. Kim, Emma, if you can't watch it in your country, just use a VPN. Set it to the UK, and then go on the BBC website. Or no, ITV, BBC, whatever it's on. I think it's on BBC. Just download yourself a free VPN, connect to the UK, and then just watch it for a VPN. It's easily done. It'll take you 5 minutes to download a VPN, set it to the UK, and then just watch it on the BBC. Easy. Problem solved. You're welcome. That's how I, like when a brand new anime series or something comes out that's like only in China or Japan, I just use a VPN. I use a VPN, connect to China or Japan. Sometimes a new MMO like video game will come out that's only available in Korea and you can't get it in the UK. Just have a VPN, connect to Korea, and then download the game and play it. I mean, you can do that with movies, you can do that with shows, you can do that with video games, and it just works. Sky just confirmed HBO and Disney Plus will be included in the subscription. HBO and Disney Plus will be included in the subscription. Okay. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do, in just a minute or so, we'll move on to our next story. This is going to be a bit of a contentious one. Lucius Malfoy, the actor, Johnny Flynn, is going to be in Season 1, which obviously Season 1's going to cover the Philosopher's Stone, but Lucius Malfoy doesn't actually appear in the first book. I believe he's mentioned by name, but he doesn't actually appear in the first book. Yet, in the series, he's going to be appearing in the first season. So, a lot of Harry Potter purists are probably going to take issue with that. I expect some people in the comment sections are probably going to not be too happy. The fact that characters are appearing in seasons that don't align with the books, and, people aren't going to be happy about that because they want everything to be one-for-one accurate. I get it to a point. That's what this show's been marketed as, accuracy. But I think if they swap a few things around, to me, it's not a big deal. As long as they keep the main core pillar of the accuracy of the books, that's what matters to me. As long as they keep all the subplots and the main story and the canon and everything's kind of the main, like, as long as it's like 90, 98, 99% accurate to the books, I think there's that like 2-3% to play around with. That's the way I look at it anyway. So, yeah, I think there is that small percent that you can mix and change and do things as long as you keep, 98, 97% of the storybook accurate, because it's a different storytelling medium. I mean, telling a story on a page and telling a story in a TV show, there's things you have to change. You can't do a one-for-one adaptation. It just wouldn't work. So there's certain things you have to change and certain characters have to be moved and, things like that. And, but a lot of people forget that sometimes. I'm by no means like having a go, but I'm just saying. Considering the movies aren't going away, I'm totally fine with adding a few things that aren't in the books into the TV show to make it unique. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If they're adding additional content, you can still keep the books accurate, but they're just adding additional scenes to give additional context that maybe wasn't in the books. J.K. Rowling was obviously a consultant and a producer on the TV show as well. She probably gave some notes. So she probably said, in certain scenes within the books, in my opinion, to make it flow better on the screen, you could probably add this extra dialogue. You could add this extra person into the scene. You could change this. And J.K. Rowling has probably given her personal insights as to how they can change things slightly for the screen to make it better in the series. And they're probably following that kind of lead. If I had to guess, I don't know that for a fact, but I'm just guessing as a fan, maybe that's what's going on. Because J.K. Rowling has given her thoughts on the series. She's been in casting and stuff like that. So she has been heavily involved with the series. Wyatt, that's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen. It's not. The movies have been cemented in pop culture fandom and zeitgeist. It doesn't matter how good the series are. It doesn't matter how good the series is. That doesn't detract anything from the movies. Just because you have a good TV series of Harry Potter, that doesn't diminish the movies in any way. The quality of the movies is still there. It doesn't make the movies worse. It's still there. I don't get how the series being amazing can make the movies worse. It can't. Because we already love them. We already watched them. We've been with these movies for 20 plus years. The series doesn't by any way diminish what the movies have already achieved. So there's no way that can happen in my opinion. And yeah, like Cloud Apps is saying, this TV series is going to define a whole new generation. It's going to bring a whole load of new fandom on board. Young kids who didn't grow up with Harry Potter, who have never watched it, never been into it. It's going to be talked about all over social media. It's going to be the water cooler subject at work. People are going to be talking about it. People who have never watched Harry Potter before, have no interest now, are going to end up watching the first couple of episodes and they get hooked into the series and become Potterheads like the rest of us. And, every new fan that we can get on board is a win for the community. So that's the way I look at it. Okay, guys, so let's move on to this next topic, talking about Lucius Malfoy popping up in Season 1 of the Harry Potter HBO show. Harry Potter series. It looks like a lot of Harry Potter purists, people who want this series to be a word-for-word translation exactly identical to the books, they may be a little upset on that front. Because we do now have reports and news, and we know for a while that it looks like certain characters who don't appear in certain books will be appearing in the same season. Obviously, we know going into this show, Season 1 is going to be the Philosopher's Stone, Season 2 is going to be the Chamber of Secrets book, each season is going to be a book. But certain characters don't appear in certain books, but that's not going to stop them from showing up in particular seasons when it comes to this show. So again, a lot of purists may be a bit upset about that. So let's get into this anyway, and hopefully it'll make a bit more sense as we read through it. So this comes to us from comicbook.com. Harry Potter's new Malfoy actor reveals how much he's in Season 1, despite not being in the book. Yeah, so there we go. Lucius Malfoy doesn't actually appear in the Philosopher's Stone book, but he is going to be in Season 1 of the show. So again, even though he's not in the book, he's not in the first book, he's going to be in the first season. So again, they're playing around with characters that aren't in certain books being in certain seasons. So I mean, is this a good change up? Is it a bad change up? Who knows? Until we see it, it's pretty hard to tell at this point. So the new Harry Potter television series is in production, and one of the new Malfoy actors has talked about the filming. The new cast is shaking things up from the original movies, but there are also big changes from what fans might remember. This includes changing some things not only from the movies, but also from the original J.K. Rowling novels. There are many things that were cut from the movies for time. They will be finally be shown in the HBO Max series. Yeah, again, I know that they left a lot of stuff out of the movies, and it does suck, but I get it with the time constraints. I mean, each movie would be like 4 hours long if they put everything into it. So I get why they cut some of the stuff out, and they had to make hard decisions. They always do with movies, not just with like Harry Potter movies, not just adapting books to movies, but just movies in general. As a director or an editor, there's really hard decisions. When it comes to editing a movie together, say you've got like 5 or 6 hours worth of footage, or even more than that, you have to trim it down to an hour and a half to 2 hours, and there's a lot you have to cut out, a lot you have to keep in, and there's important decisions about what the audience requires, what they don't want, and man, that's got to be a difficult decision to make on any movie, but especially when it comes to something beloved like this, to make sure you've got all the right stuff in there and then cut out the stuff you don't need to make it flow better. I mean, that's a difficult decision for anyone to do. So this includes the appearance of Lucius Malfoy. Okay, let me just go back. I missed this bit here, sorry. There are many things that were cut from the movies for time that will finally be shown in the HBO Max series. It also appears that some things will be in the HBO Max series that weren't in the books. So yeah, I mean, we've talked about this on the channel as well. It looks like even though they are going to be an accurate, it's going to be an accurate telling of the books in the series, they never said anything about not adding additional content, adding additional scenes or additional things happening on top of the books. Because even if they represent the books accurately, I mean, does it detract from the accuracy by adding extra stuff on top of it? I mean, even if it's like little kind of like nuances and scenes here and there, that doesn't radically change the books. I mean, adding little things here and there and changing up where characters appear and things like that, is that going to affect the overall story in such a big way that it detracts from the overall accuracy? I mean, that's an argument that a lot of people are having at the moment. You see it on all kinds of Reddit forums and stuff like that. So this includes the appearance of Lucius Malfoy, Draco's evil Death Eater father, who never appeared in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone, whichever one you want to call it. However, he appeared in the first season of... However, he will appear, in the first season of Harry Potter on HBO Max, which retells the story from that novel. Johnny Flynn has signed on to star as Lucius Malfoy for the Harry Potter series on HBO Max and spoke to The Hollywood Reporter about his appearance in Season 1. Again, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people in the comment section. I've already seen it on some of my previous videos. People are like, well, this guy doesn't appear in that book, so why is he in this season? And why are they changing that and changing? And I'm like, guys, I get where you're coming from as a Harry Potter purist, where you want everything represented one for one from the books. I get it. We're changing a medium from a book to a TV show. There are certain things that have to be changed to make the content work properly. And until we actually see the episodes, until we see the first season, it's really hard to know. But these guys are the best in the business, working in front and behind the camera. If they choose to put in an appearance of a character earlier than what it shows in the books, I'm sure they're doing it for a great reason. Although it does, the accuracy of the books then is going to be a little bit off. I guess that's an argument that can be made. But, there's no point in complaining and kind of whining and whinging about it until we actually see it. It could be a great move. It could be a bad move. But let's wait until we see it first. Before we give our full feedback on it. That's the best way I think it is. Think of going into it anyway. So Johnny Flynn, who appeared in the British sitcom Lovesick, revealed he won't be in the first season very much, based on the interview. While talking about his new movie, Goodbye June, Kate Winslet's directorial debut, which arrives on December on Netflix, Flynn was asked about Harry Potter. The interviewer mentioned that Lox Pratt, who plays Draco Malfoy, said Flynn had a lot of aura. So, quote, somebody told me about your piece on him, and then I had to ask my kids what that meant because I had no idea, Flynn said. I'm really chuffed to be Aura. And I'd say the same about him. He's a really, really cool guy, and he's got a lot going on, and he's super nice, he's really good, and he's grounded. Then talked about making Harry Potter and said that while J.K. Rowling has a lot of stuff around her that needs to be talked about, yeah, guys, when it comes to the new cast being interviewed, right, because, this show's going to be coming out in the first quarter of 2027. I'm just going to go off on a small tangent here. I bet whenever they're being interviewed and asked questions about J.K. Rowling, I bet the publicists who deal with these actors, they've said, look, if anyone in an interview asks you anything about J.K. Rowling, just act aloof, just divert the conversation back to Harry Potter, say whatever you have to change the conversation away from J.K. Rowling, because it takes one actor on this HBO series to say something controversial, and it's going to throw a whole lot of shade onto this series. So I bet the actors have been told, they've been giving a bunch of kind of rebuttals. So if any interviewer in any kind of interview of any of the cast of the upcoming HBO series get asked about J.K. Rowling, here's a bunch of lines that you can and can't say about J.K. Rowling. And yeah, so I bet they're kind of scared about answering questions as well. Because again, if you say one thing that's controversial or that kind of sets off, the kind of the fan base or whatever, it could be really detrimental to the show. But anyway, that was me just going off on a tangent. Let's get back to this. So, however, he preferred to talk about the showrunner, Francesca Gardner, and the directors, whom he had nothing but praise for. Quote, I'm basically not in the first book. Lucius is hardly in book 1 at all, but I'm in the first series, Flynn said. Yeah, Lucius Malfoy isn't even in the book. He's mentioned by name, I believe, but he's not actually in the book. So it's quite a thing to go to... So it's quite a thing to go do a day, then have a month or so off and come back, and everybody's got these really tight relationships, but it's such a welcome environment. So yeah, he said there, it's quite a thing to go to do a day and then have a month off. So the fact that he's only been on set for a day or two, that leads me to believe that maybe it's, I don't really know. Maybe it's some sort of like dream sequence, or maybe there's just like a flash where like maybe Malfoy, Draco Malfoy is talking about his father, and then all of a sudden we see a quick kind of like, you know, quick kind of flash up on the screen of his dad or something. But yeah, the fact that he's only on set for one day, that means they couldn't have filmed much content for him for the first season. So I don't expect he's going to be in there a lot, but I think that Draco's going to be saying something about his father, or someone's going to mention his father, and then I think quickly there's going to be like a small kind of montage where it shows some of Draco's family, and maybe his dad is just there, you know, for a split second or something. But it's really hard to know. But the fact, again, that it's only one day, that tells me that, you know, it's going to be a quick flash, a quick kind of show of him, and then that's going to be it, probably. So how will Harry Potter HBO Max series compare to the movies? I mean, while there are a lot of people who wondered what the purpose of the HBO Max series was, since the movies were so good, things like Lucius Malfoy are a good example of how it can be different experience. For characters like Lucius, there have been hints that the show will give a look at the Draco Malfoy home, which is why Lucius is in the first season without actually appearing in the book. The idea of going more into detail about our favourite characters like Draco is something that could only happen in a television series. Yeah, I mean, Locke Pratt recently came out and he said about, you know, seeing Draco in his home, or some sort of quote like that. So, you know, it looks like we're going to dive a lot more into these characters, see their backstory, see their kind of home life and their home environment and stuff like that. You know, at home with the Malfoys. It sounds like a sitcom. That would be something I'd actually watch. So, this is even bigger. This is even bigger later in the series. There are several Harry Potter plotlines that were left out of the movies, since there were only 2 hours to adapt each book until the last one. This is the most exciting part of seeing Harry Potter story in a 10-season series. The House Elves storyline was almost completely ignored in the movies, other than Dobby. This means Winky wasn't in the movies, and the entire subplot of Hermione fighting for the elves' rights can finally be shown on HBO Max. Yeah, Spew! We want Spew! Rita Skeeter, who was a major thorn in Harry Potter's side, can get a bigger role in the HBO Max series, and it could show that there was an unregistered animagus, which explained a lot of her shoddy reporting. However, one of the biggest things that the movies only glossed over, but was very important in the books, was that Neville Longbottom was the possible chosen one. I mean, there's countless articles and debate about that going on online ever since that last movie came out, and you know, about the books and the movies as well, I should say. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people look at it. If you reposition the story around Neville, you can see why people would say that. This was a huge red herring that had fans debating the chosen one before the final book was released. HBO Max needs to make Neville Longbottom a much bigger part of Harry Potter's story when it arrives on streaming. I think we will get that. I've already talked about, I reckon we're going to see his kind of tragic backstory, kind of his sad history of the character. And hopefully they show Neville Longbottom in a more of a heroic light and kind of give us more nuance to his character, like I've said before. But it's going to be interesting to see the changes they make, and the fact that they're using characters that don't appear in certain books but in certain seasons. Again, there's going to be people that complain about this, I know there is, but you know, I'm willing to leave my baggage at the door, so to speak. When I go into this first season, I'm going to leave all my preconceived notions about these articles and stories that I've been reading kind of at the door. I'm going to go in with a completely open mind. Not so open that my brain falls out, but I'm going to go in with an open mind, and I'm just going to kind of, you know, watch it for what it is, and then I'm going to kind of review it myself. You know, did it make sense when you compare it to the books? Does the story make sense? Have they added additional content? Did that make sense? Did that sacrifice the accuracy for the additional content? You know, we're kind of, until we've actually seen the episodes, it's kind of hard to make criticism on these types of things. But a lot of people are, you know, quite quick to jump on bandwagons and to hate on things without even having watched it, which is kind of crazy to me. But it is what it is. A lot of people have a lot of different thoughts about this. So with that, guys, jump into the live chat or down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Lucius Malfoy turning up in season 1, even though he's not on the Philosopher's Stone. Is that a good thing? A bad decision? You know, how do you put that? We have to kind of comment on it without even seeing the season first, but I would love to know what you think about it. So like I say, jump in the live chat or in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the very next video. So guys, with that down, what did you think about that? Lucius Malfoy appearing in season 1 of the Harry Potter show. Good idea, bad idea, somewhere in the middle? What do you think about it, guys? To me, Lucius appears briefly in Diagon with Draco, or if anything, he's in the background of those scenes since Draco is present. Yeah, I mean, he could literally pop up anywhere. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, from what it said in that article, I mean, he was on set shooting for 1 day. That tells me, that he's probably, again, lingering in the background. It could be some sort of quick scene where Draco's talking about his dad and an image pops up of him. I mean, it could literally be anything, but it's not a big deal. It really isn't. The fact that he's popping up in season 1, but I just thought I would talk about it and see what people are saying about it, because there's a lot of people that have a lot of different opinions about, even though the books are supposed to represent each season and, characters weren't in certain books, but they're going to be in certain seasons and all this kind of stuff, some people take issue, some people don't. Okay. So, with that down, guys, yeah, the thing is as well, right, I've been thinking about doing some videos over the next few weeks, right? This is right out of left field. But I'm thinking of looking into this, right? People are going to say it's AI slop. But what I'm thinking of, right, because have you guys seen on Twitter or X recently, in China, they dropped a brand new video model called Dance 2.0, and it's generating near movie level quality videos now, right? And I was thinking of just messing around with it and trying to generate some Harry Potter scenes and seeing what I could come up with. And I'm not going to put it up as a serious kind of attempt at making a film, but I may just generate a few different clips and then talk about it here on the channel. We'll talk about, the pitfalls of what it looks like, if it looks good, if the physics look good, if the magic looks good, during the scenes that it generates. Like, I think I might just make a video about it and just see what the feedback is. But I wanted to know what you guys would think about something like that. Because if you guys have seen these Dance 2.0 AI videos that are being generated of movie scenes, they look insanely real. And I want to try and generate some Harry Potter scenes. Then we'll do like an analysis, a breakdown, the pros, the cons, rate each scene kind of out of 10, and see what we think of it. I know it's AI and some people are still turned off to the idea, but again, I think it's fun just to dive into from a technical perspective, because I like looking into this AI and technology and where it's going. It's progressing so quickly, and if we can kind of intertwine that with a bit of Harry Potter, I think it could make for an interesting video. I'll do it as a one-off. I'll probably put it up either tomorrow, Tuesday, if I make that kind of video. Then I'll see what the feedback is, and if people don't like it, then we'll kind of leave it there. But I think it's a conversation that's quite fun to be had. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think about something like that. Is that something that would be interesting to you? Do you think it's something we should stay away from? Whatever your thoughts are, just let me know about that. Also, I wanted to get your guys' opinions on kind of doing more vlogs as well. I mean, like, is there any kind of vlogs you would like to see on the channel? Anything specifically? A vlog that you want me to do that I could put on the channel? Something like that. If you've got any suggestions or opinions or anything like that, just let me know in the live chat. I would love to hear what you guys think about it. Cloud Up says, looking at it from a technical perspective wouldn't be too bad of an idea. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Cloud Up. So I'm not talking about generating clips to try and make a real movie. Like, I'm not going to do that. But you make a scene, like a 10-second scene, and then we can talk about the physics. Does the magic effects look good? Do the sound effects look good? Do the costumes look good? Does the consistency in the character movements for the videos, does that look good? And we can kind of go into that and then rate the scenes out of 10 as well as we go along. I think it will be a lot of fun to do something like that on the channel. That's if I can come up with Harry Potter content. I don't know if it will allow me to generate Harry Potter content. But on Seed Dance at the moment, there's a lot of people generating like Superman clips, Batman clips, using celebrities and all that kind of stuff. So if I can do Harry Potter clips, I will try my best. It may not allow me to do it. So if it doesn't, we'll have to see. Cloud App says, I might be biased though, because I'm also in tech. Yeah, I mean, I studied computing. I studied computing at college and stuff, and I've always been into computers and the internet and built computers and stuff like that. So I love all that kind of stuff, and I love talking about AI and technology in the future. I think that kind of stuff is fascinating. Before you upload anything to YouTube, make sure you watermark it as AI so shady folks don't snatch it and spread it as bait. Yeah, you make a good point there, actually, Rusty. You do make a good point. But the thing is, with Seed Dance, when Seed Dance generates an AI video scene, it automatically has a water stamp on it that says AI generated in the bottom corner. So people will already know that it's AI generated anyway. Because I have been messing around with it a little bit. I haven't generated any Harry Potter stuff. I generated a few Superman clips, and it has a watermark already kind of burnt into the image on Seed Dance that says AI in the corner. So, you know, I would never want to try and trick the fan base into thinking something's real when it's not. So yeah. Add another. What, just add like 10 different watermarks? This is not real. This is not real. This is fake. This is AI. Just in case you didn't notice, this was AI. This is not real. It could be real, but it's not real. But it is real, but it's not real. There you go. Then people might get the message. But guys, speaking of that, when we get closer to the trailer for the HBO series coming out, there's going to be so many fake trailers all over social media for the Harry Potter series. We have to be so careful with what's real and what's fake when it comes to the trailer for the Harry Potter series. So yeah, we just got to be careful. So, you know, when you start seeing trailers for Harry Potter pop up, bear in mind they could be fake and they look so damn real. So, you know, be careful. Make sure it's coming from an official source. If you see a trailer, make sure it's from the official, you know, Warner Brothers, you know, X account, Warner Brothers YouTube account. If it's coming from any other YouTube account, don't believe it until you see it from an official source. That's the way I kind of look at it. But anyway, with that down, let's move into our third and final topic here. We're talking about the Jacobite Express, the real-world version of the Hogwarts Express that goes over the Glenfinnan Viaduct. And it looks like they're having a major cash shortage, and it could potentially lead to the train, you know, being taken off the rails, so to speak, and them not taking any more bookings for the train. So let's dive in. Let's check out the story, because it is sad if the train gets taken away and no one else can board the train and no more fans can enjoy it. It's going to be a sad day for the fandom. But let's check it out, and let's see what's going on with the Jacobite Express. Off tonight's live stream with a bit of a sad story. So this comes to us from The Sun. Cash crisis, Scotland's iconic Harry Potter train under threat. A £7 million crisis could derail the Hogwarts Express. Yeah, so I haven't read into this story or this article. I really don't know what this is about until we get into it. But it really doesn't sound good. Maybe it's the maintenance, the upkeep of the track or the train or something like that. Maybe the staff that goes along with it as well. But I mean, a £7 million crisis. I mean, that's a pretty big crisis to have, you know, to any degree. I mean, I've never had a £7 million crisis. And I'm sure a lot of other people haven't. But yeah, I mean, I hope this doesn't mean that the train goes out of commission or that people can no longer experience this train ride. Because fans the world over, when it comes to the Wizarding World and Harry Potter, they love the Jacobite Express. That's what it's called in the real world. In the Muggle world, it's called the Jacobite Express. It goes along the Glenfinnan Railway kind of viaduct here. And yeah, it's a beautiful scenic train, really amazing in Scotland. Obviously that iconic viaduct that was used in the Harry Potter films. But if the train gets decommissioned, it'll be a very, very sad day for the fan base. That's for sure. Okay, so let's read into it and see exactly what's going on here. So, the iconic Jacobite Express, famed globally as the train which brought Harry Potter and his pals to school every term, is in danger of being derailed because of cash issues. So, the steam train, dubbed the Hogwarts Express, has been transporting fans of J.K. Rowling's novels between the scenic route of Fort William and Malag, or Malag? I have no idea how you say that, I do apologise. Malag? Over the Glenfinnan Viaduct for the last 2 decades. And again, for anyone out there who's Scottish, I do apologise. Malag? I think that's how you say it. Again, I really don't know. Okay. So, it seems to be a cash shortage. And I mean, just look at that image there. I mean, look at all these fans. We talked about this on the channel, about how the fans, there's so many fans that go there in the summer. People are like illegally parking, you know, they're destroying the environment, all that kind of stuff. So, I guess the one silver lining in this kind of sad cloud, if this train gets decommissioned or no longer runs because of cash issues, the one upside to that is that there's going to be no more kind of fans turning up to the viaduct and sort of nature can heal itself. You know, there's going to be no more destruction of the local environment. So it's going to be good for local residents, good for the local nature and wildlife. So, I mean, there is an upside if this train gets decommissioned. But obviously, the train being decommissioned because of cash issues would be very sad. But again, nature would win out. So, I mean, either way, I mean, you know, depending on how you look at it, again, a silver lining in the cloud, as they say. But look at this beautiful image here, the Jacobite train going over the viaduct. I would love to go there and take some pictures myself sometime, but this is pretty far away from where I live. I'd have to get a flight up to the top of Scotland to get there. So, but now, the popular locomotive, which is enjoyed by around 70,000 passengers a year, is at a crossroads due to a long-running dispute over safety regulations and the resulting financial strain. So, West Coast Railways has said it's reviewing all options and is yet to formalise this year's timetable. Highland Explorer Tours in Edinburgh, which runs packages for the service, said it was honouring existing bookings. So that does sound like they are cancelling bookings, or they're going to be not cancelling bookings, but it looks like they could be potentially be ending bookings for a foreseeable future, because they're going to honour existing bookings. So if you have an existing booking for this coming season, then you'll still be able to go on the Jacobite Express. But after this season, they may no longer be taking bookings until they've kind of figured out the cash issue. So it's a pretty scary time, you know, if you're a staff member, or if, you know, you want to go on this train in the future as a fan. And a message on the company's phone line tells customers they have been sent an email regarding Jacobite bookings. So, West Coast Rail's commercial manager, James Shuttleworth. What a kind of cool name as someone who's a commercial manager of West Coast Railways. His name is Shuttleworth, like shuttle, train shuttle. We haven't made any decisions at all. So it sounds like they're still talking through their options. They don't want to be too hasty, which is probably the best way. So, quote, last year was not the best year we have had, and we are reviewing all options. We haven't made a formal decision on when it starts and when tickets go on sale. As soon as we do, we will update everybody. Joe Blower, who runs Western Isle Cruises Limited, said any reduction in the service would damage businesses in Mallaig and Fort William. Yeah, it's going to have a knock-on effect, obviously, because if there's no tourists to go on this train, if this train goes out of service, then all of the passengers that are getting, you know, on the train and they're making their way to Fort William, all of the other tourist industries at the other end of the train line are no longer going to be receiving those tourists and those Harry Potter fans. So there's going to be no more influx of kind of people turning up to their businesses. So it's going to have a massive impact, not only for the Jacobite train, but for the businesses on each end of the railway network as well. So, I mean, that's really, really unfortunate, and I hope that doesn't happen. I never want to see people go out of business. I never want to see people lose their jobs and stuff like that. And I just really hope that maybe the government can step in and subsidize the train, help them out. I mean, something like that. But I hope it doesn't go out of service. So he said, quote, it would be a massive impact, not just for Western Isle cruises, but probably even more so for the cafes and restaurants. I mean, for those of you who know anything about what's going on here in the UK with our economy, some of the hardest hit businesses at the moment in the economy here are in the food and beverage industry. They're like pubs, cafes, restaurants. They're really being hit hard with taxes and all these different kind of things that the government is doing to them. So, I mean, this would be another hammer blow to these local businesses around the Glenfinnan Viaduct. And I mean, on top of the taxes and everything else that they have to deal with, I mean, it just would be catastrophic beyond belief. And again, I hope it doesn't close down their businesses, and I really hope people don't lose their livelihoods. It's always a sad day when we hear about that kind of thing. So, in December of 2023, West Coast Railways lost a High Court challenge against the rail regulator over door safety. Door safety? That's interesting. The company challenged demands for central locking systems to be fitted to the carriage doors, with the owners of the Jacobite said implementing the new measures could cost £7 million. So it sounds like because it's an old steam train, they don't have the latest up-to-date technology when it comes to sort of the interlocking doors. And it sounds like, you know, they were sort of, they lost this kind of challenge in court. And it would cost them $7 million to get that new technology for the doors implemented to make it more safer for customers. But yeah, again, just another hammer blow to the Jacobite Express. So, West Coast Railways lawyers said it would destroy the business if it had to spend that much on fitting central locking, which they said is approximately 7 times the company's average annual net profit, thereby wiping out the company's profits for the best part of a decade. Wow! They would have to spend a decade's worth of their profits on getting these new kind of safety doors fitted. £7 million. That's crazy. It would completely destroy their company. They said 50 million in economic value to the wider community would be lost if the business didn't survive. Again, like we were just saying, at either end of the railway network for the Jacobite Express or the Hogwarts Express, whichever you want to call it, the businesses would be affected. It says here, a £50 million economic value would be lost. Which, you know, that's kind of heartbreaking. It really is. So West Coast Railways took legal action against the Office of Rail and Road after it refused to exempt the company from rules banning the use of hinge doors without central locking. The Jacobite contributes 19.3 million a year to the Scottish economy, on top of a 4.72 million in ticket revenue from 101,000 passenger journeys, the court was told. Wow, they contribute £19.3 million a year to the economy. That's crazy. A £10 rise in the Jacobite fare, where an average return ticket is £46.58, would generate about an extra £1 million a year in revenue with no additional overheads, the court ruled. West Coast Rail supplied Warner Brothers with the locomotive and heritage carriages used for the Hogwarts Express in the Harry Potter films. And that's kind of where we are there. And we have one comment here that says, so exactly how many passengers have fallen out of the trains without central locking, say in the last 10 years? I suspect none have. Yeah, I mean, but you know what the government is like. They here in the UK, right? The government over-regulate on everything. Like everything is red tape and bureaucracy and over-regulated, and it's just crazy beyond belief. And they want the Jacobite Express, the company, to spend £7 million on getting these new locking doors, and that would wipe out 10 years of their profit, their profit and their revenue. So they just can't sustain it. But let's hope that they find a way. Again, because they contribute so much towards the Scottish economy, let's hope that the government does something to keep this train around so it doesn't affect the businesses in the local area. And I really just hope that doesn't happen. But it's a sad story, it really is. But again, I just go back to that other side of it. Even if this falls by the wayside and all this economic damage happens, at least on the plus side, there's going to be less tourists, and the nature and the local environment can sort of, recuperate from all. Oops, I think I just went to... Oh, I cut off the... Oh no, I was fixing something in the background, and I accidentally cut off that video. Sorry about that, guys. I think we were pretty much near the end anyway. You guys pretty much get the gist of the point from that story. But yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was changing something. That was pretty much the end. There was only a minute left to go on that video anyway, so you guys didn't miss much, but I do apologize. That was my fault completely. If you guys can look at the control panel that I have on the screen, I have so many different things to click on. Sometimes I do make a mistake. I'm only human. Do forgive me. Do forgive me. But anyway, guys, with that down, what did you think about that story there? I mean, it's going to have a massive effect on the local economy. The fact if that train gets shut down and there can be no more bookings because of a cash problem, then, I mean, it's really bad to hear. Not just for the fandom being able to ride that train, enjoy that train, the tourists. I mean, the local economy, the businesses at each end of the network are going to suffer because of it. And man, it's just a terrible story. It's really not good. But I think Deborah said, was it Deborah? Yeah, Deborah said if the business is profiting that well, they could pitch in and help save it. Absolutely they could. Or the government could step in. The government should step in and, subsidize the train. And then when the train's making profit, that, they can pay back the government loan or whatever it is that they need to. But having to spend £7 million, like 10 years worth of their profits, in order to just put in these kind of, these safety doors or these electric doors that the government wants them to, they have to wipe out 10 years worth of profit. It's absolutely insane. It's such a crazy story, and it kind of blew my mind when I read it. But guys, that video there of the Jacobite Express, I'll put the full video up on the channel tomorrow. So if you do want to come back on the channel and watch the very ending of that video that I accidentally cut off, I will upload the full video to the channel tomorrow. So if you do want to go back to that video and watch the last minute or so, like I say, it will be on the channel tomorrow. Also, another update here as well. For those of you that want to see the next part of the Harry Potter Studio Tour, Part 3, I'm going to be putting that up on the channel on Tuesday. So look forward to it on Tuesday, guys. Part 3 is going to be really, really fun. I'm trying to think what it is that I do in Part 3. What was in Part 3? I think... No, the Chamber of Secrets door I've already done. I can't remember what's in part 3. I shot so much footage. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I can't remember exactly what's in part 3, but you'll see in the thumbnail and the title. But like I say, guys, I'll put it out on Tuesday. I'm trying to spread the videos out rather than dumping them all in one go. I want to spread the videos out a bit. So I'm going to put them out sort of every other day or every other 2 days or so, 2 or 3 days, something like that. So yeah, look forward to part 3 coming on Tuesday, guys. For those of you who want to watch the rest of the Harry Potter studio tour, then subsequent days, part 4 and 5 as well. Part 5 is going to be the end of it. But there are other things that I want to do on the channel as well. And like I said, I would love to take suggestions from you guys. If you guys have any ideas for vlogs that you want me to do, or, you know, any helpful suggestions, locations, anything to do with Harry Potter and vlogs, you know, that I can film. If you have any great suggestions, do let me know, guys. I would love to take your feedback on that, and I would love to implement some of those on the channel. Obviously, I did that one where we went out looking for Harry Potter merch in shops, stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of fun doing things like that. Harry Potter locations are a bit hard to get to sometimes, so we can't always do those. They have to be planned kind of in advance, like to go to London, to go to Scotland, places like that. Takes a lot of time, effort, money, kind of resources to plan that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, there's other vlogs, kind of ideas that I have in mind. So, you know, I'll have to play around with those and see what I can come up with. Unless you guys want any suggestions, if you do, you can always go onto the Discord channel members. Go onto the Discord channel members section and kind of leave me a comment there. Or leave me a comment down on this video if you have any suggestion for vlogs, like I say. Kimmy, will you visit King's Cross? That was going to be next up on my list. That's something that I definitely want to get to. I'm thinking of doing that in the next week or so. I'm not sure when. I'll probably do it towards the end of this month, King's Cross. King's Cross is a nice, easy one to film because you have platform 9 3/4, platform 9 3/4, and you have the Harry Potter shop kind of in the same location. And obviously you have parts of the train station where the movies were filmed as well. So it's all in kind of one confined place, which is easy for me to do vlogs on. So I definitely will do that at some point. King's Cross is definitely one of the next things up on my list I want to get to. Black Uni Griffin, saw the in real life Hogwarts adventure you did. Oh, thank you so much for watching that, Black Uni Griffin. I appreciate you watching it. I hope you enjoyed that video. That was up in Gloucester Cathedral. That was fun. It took a long time for me to drive up there. It took like 3 hours for me to drive up there. I almost died several times on my motorbike. Driving on these country roads that have like 2 foot, they have like 2 foot potholes, really dangerous for motorcycles. And there's a load of fog in the countryside as well, and animals and sheep and horses and all kinds of crazy maneuvers you have to do to survive the countryside on a motorcycle. But it keeps it adventurous, that's for sure. If anything else, you know, there's a few magical shops in London that sell a lot of Harry Potter merch. Yeah, I've seen that there's a lot of places dotted around. There's other locations I want to go to as well. There's that marketplace, the Leaky Cauldron. You have the Millennium Bridge. Other kind of scenes and places they filmed around in and around London that I'm thinking of going to. I'm just trying to plan the logistics. So, you know, going to different locations, trying to figure out the easiest way to kind of navigate to each location without kind of doubling back on myself. You know, what's the cheapest way, easiest way? Do I go on my motorcycle? Do I go on the underground train? I mean, I'm trying to figure out all the logistics and the expenses and all that kind of stuff. So we will get to that at some point, guys. So, but in the meantime, I do the Harry Potter studio tour parts, and then once that's finished, we'll kind of go on to the next one. Probably King's Cross Station will probably be the next one. I think that'll be fun. Visiting the new Privet Drive, yeah, that's on the list as well. So King's Cross Station, the new Privet Drive as well, that's definitely going to be on the list, the Privet Drive one. That's nice and easy to film because it's just an open road and a street which we can walk down. But whether the locals will take too kindly to people walking up and down the street filming, I have no idea. But then again, it's in a public place. They can't stop you from filming legally. You're allowed to film in a public place. So there's no rules that say you can't film in a public street. So, but as long as you're not intruding, as long as you're not filming into people's houses, like through their window or through their letterbox or something, then I'm sure it won't be a problem. But yeah, so King's Cross Station, the new Privet Drive. Great suggestions there from Kimmy. Definitely going to get to those. We might do some more, like you said as well, Harry Potter shops as well. There's also, just don't go roaring your motor. I roar my motorbike everywhere, so it makes a load of noise wherever it goes, because the engine's really, really noisy on it. What was the other one I was going to say? The Shambles up in York. That's possible. The Shambles. There's a load of magical shops in the Shambles. That's somewhere I thought about, but it's a really difficult place to get to because it's not far away enough to get a flight, but it's really far to get a coach at the same time. So it's kind of in that, it's in the Midlands in a really sweet spot. Like it's probably better to get a flight up to like Leeds or like Liverpool and then just get a coach down to it. That's probably the quickest way from what I've been looking at. The Shambles. So that would be quite fun to do that. But definitely all things that we're going to look into. But anyway, guys, I think it's been a great live stream. We've been going for nearly an hour now. I apologize for cutting it off a little bit short again. I was going to go about an hour and 20, but my back is absolutely killing me. I need to go and take some painkillers for my back because it's just killing me right now. But we will get to some more Hogwarts Legacy on the channel in the week or so. We'll have a good playthrough session of Hogwarts Legacy, guys. We'll chill out. I might just do a live stream just dedicated to Hogwarts Legacy or dedicated to Harry Potter Lego, if that's something that you guys want to do. If that's something you guys feel like you want to do, we can just do an entire live stream dedicated to one of those two games to make up for the fact that we haven't been playing it recently. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, guys. Thank you so much for spending some of your time. Thank you for spending so much... if I can talk. Thank you for spending some of your time on your Sunday, taking time out of your day to be here. It means a lot. I really appreciate it. The support you guys give on the video, it means a lot. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much. You just humble me so much, guys, and you make this all possible, and it's just really amazing getting to know you guys, having you as part of the community. I'm being a bit soppy, but I don't give a damn, because you guys are awesome, and I love chatting to you guys. I love spending time with you guys, and it's great that you guys are still here supporting the content, and that you're so kind, and you're so patient and thoughtful with the content. It's not always perfect, but I'm a one-man band here, and I do the best that I can for you guys. So, yeah, I hope you guys just enjoy the content. I hope you enjoy the content that I am putting out, guys. I try to do the best that I can. I sometimes make mistakes, but hey, that's part of being human, right? So, with all that down, guys, thanks so much, and I will see you on Wednesday for the next stream. Wednesday, 7 p.m, guys, the same time. And do stay tuned, because part 2 of the Harry Potter tour will be out on Tuesday as well. So make sure you look after that as well. Okay, guys, I will see you in the next video.